I started my wipe with a bang. My plan was to cross level 20 before switching to regular EFT, but the servers for Arena were absolutely cooked. I had almost constant 8% packet loss, and the desync was absolutely off the charts. So, after around 10 games of Arena, I hit level 12 on my PMC, then I went to complete the first batch of Ground Zero tasks. Next, I unlocked Jaeger and Ref, then I killed the new boss, Partisan, and I ended the night at level 14. Not too bad for just a few hours. Throughout this video, I'm going to share tips and tricks I used as I was playing my EFT raids. First raid, Ground Zero. We're doing all the starter tasks. We get the spawn right underneath the machine gun, so we're gonna go ahead, we make our way up to the top, we're gonna loot up, and we're gonna get this first part of the task done. Then after that, we assess the situation of the map. We hear people fighting over towards the AGS on the opposite side of the map. So we cross the street and we hug the winery and all the fancy buildings next to it over towards Emmercom.
You want me to go first?
No, we're not going in there.
Oh, it's Cav.
I'm looking for him.
Audible, right?
Yeah, he's shooting at you. He's over here, towards him.
I think he sees footsteps, or sees feet. No, never mind.
Once we make our way over towards Emmercom, we take a minute to loot it up. We're checking for Salewas or any medicine. You need to find 3 pieces of medicine for a therapist. So that's part of what we're doing here.
Scab's down.
So after this, we just going to extract, or are we gonna go to saving them all?
Yeah, we'll go back, backtrack over to saving. I need a few pieces of, yeah.
Then we make our way over to the garage. We're going to the scientist office at this point.
Oh, where is that?
That's like out in front. That's like down the
That's Mirror Ave.
That sounded like it was straight up front.
We make our way into the building. Notice how the 3 of us are all holding different angles. I'm trying to play a little bit more back and watch the bigger issues, we'll call them. My 2 teammates are running across. I'm sitting to hold the top of the staircase.
Got it.
Often whenever people start sprinting, if you're being camped, that's when they would peek, is when you're sprinting.
We all have to find the body, so we all gotta come back here.
Yeah, true.
It's gone.
I'm just holding.
We make our way up. We approach it from 2 different angles. I decide to throw a grenade.
Okay, watch out.
And this is what happens.
Hold on. This is just a smarter idea.
I got 2 nades.
I hate that grenade animation.
Welcome to Tarkov. There's a guy sitting in the corner and my teammates just didn't keep up with me. Stuff like that happens. Anyways, we reset and we go in for another raid. Immediately, we spawn at Emmercom, we run into garage and we get contact. One of my 2 friends dies, so now we're just a dynamic duo left to take on this team. We don't know how many there are, we just know that there's a few of them. They have decent guns, and these guys are dickheads. They just like to sit and prone in the garage.
Are we all alive?
We take a second to heal up, then we put some grenades on their position to try to make them move from their cover, maybe stop peeking us, maybe they retreat. This gives us an opportunity to maneuver to the front door of the building. Upon entering, we don't see anything. We take a second to assess the situation, and then we both push down the hallway together. My teammate was way ahead of me, but that's okay. And then Desync got him. He told me that he didn't even see the opponent on his screen. So I go ahead and I decide to hold this, and I'm able to destroy him.
What the fuck?
I'm listening, trying to find out if his teammate is around, It turns out that's his body right there. At some point, he blew up from one of our grenades. I don't think it was mine, but one of us did end up getting him. I'm being extra cautious before I loot, really making sure the corners are cleared and nobody's pushing me, and then I can loot. You don't want to make the mistake, especially as a solo player after a gunfight, of immediately jumping on a dead body. If you just jump on a dead body, especially with the new audio changes, you're going to get rolled up on very fast without realizing it. This little exchange right here is exactly my case and point. Pay attention to what happens here.
Fucking died.
Motherfucker, dude.
I get caught by surprise. Luckily, the guy potatoes. I decide to toss my backpack so I can peek the corners a little bit faster. I didn't really want to fight this guy. I was trying to play evasively, try to survive. I didn't want him to push me. That's why I continued to peek to keep him down the hallway. I threw grenades to keep his head down so I could reposition, and then eventually I'm going to throw one more grenade as a distraction so I can get out. I'm not looking to fight this guy. I don't want any more loot. I'm already over 45 kilos. At this point, if I pick up anything else, I'm going to be too slow to get to the extract. I just had to kill one more scav, take the car extract, and boom, my skier task was complete. A third raid, we spawned over by the AGS building, so we run in, we're looting all the offices, and I'm able to finish shooting cans right here.
I'm at the AGS.
There we go.
Over there right now.
There's something coming down the street towards us.
Dude, she looks like you're just cranking your hog reloading that thing.
Have you ever killed anybody with the automatic grenade launcher? Let me know in the comments.
Got my task done.
Something to note about that building is there's a lot of food everywhere. If you're looking for food early wipe, and you happen to be doing your ground zero tasks anyways, check all of the shelves up in the AGS building. I found the Tarkov meat, I found a bunch of cans of soda. It's very good early wipe. On our way to the scientist lab, our third man wound up dying to a PMC that was sitting in a corner. So at this point, we're just a duo. The door was still locked. However, what you can do is you can smash the window and climb across the windowsill to get into that room. So even if you pull up on it and the room is locked, that doesn't mean there's nobody in there. So you still need to be careful going in the scientist lab no matter what. After that final Ground Zero raid, my first batch of Ground Zero tasks were done. At this point, the only thing left to do is the winery task after debut. But my friends got off and I wanted to keep playing, so I decided to go to Woods to unlock Jaeger and Ref. You can do both in the same raid. I slowly make my way over to the USEC camp. This place is always very hot early wipe, and this is a clear example of why it is important to take your time on Woods. I'm able to hear this guy's footsteps before he gets too close. I'm using the brand new Uzi. This was my first time using the Uzi. I didn't realize how terrible the iron sights were, and that's the only reason I think I couldn't kill this guy, is because I literally just could not see him through the iron sights. What you'll see in the next raid is I switch. You can put a rail on top of this, and for an extra like $200, you can put a red dot on. And for an extra $200, you can put a red dot on. So it's very, very good. So this whole time there's a fight going on at the USEC camp. That's why I wanted to approach it from the back, so I could take my sweet time approaching. As a solo player, especially on Woods, you can get surrounded and sniped very easily. So it's important when you're pushing these hot zones to take your sweet time, approach from an off angle, approach from behind, stop, look, and listen. Once I decide it's safe enough for me to not be fully on guard, the bad guys are on the other section of the USEC camp, I go to take the poster, and then I look around for any attachments left behind. You can often find good attachments for your gun in this area. I don't loot too many boxes because it seems like they're already hit, so I just grab a couple things that are left behind just to have something in my backpack to make the raid worth it, and then I skedaddle on out of here. I retrace my steps as to be as safe as possible. Instead of pushing into these new people, I decide I want to run away. Something to note is on these big dirt roads, the BTR will drive around. You may be able to hear it. The BTR was very close to me this whole time, and if you make a wrong move, the BTR will just blow you up. So always try to stay away from the BTR if you don't need to use it. And after this, there was no conflict in the raid. I was able to smoothly make my way to extract, hugging the outside wall. I always, when I'm playing solo, try to stay on the perimeter of the map. That just reduces the amount of angles you have to take into consideration. Next, I played my 5th raid, Customs. If you saw my video from last night, this is when I killed Partisan. After that, I crossed the bridge into Elbow. Once I got to the Elbow building, I did hear somebody on the other side of the fence. I need to survive, so I throw some grenades at him and just get the hell out of Dodge. I run over to the dungeon. Now, once I make entry to the dungeon, I hear somebody looting a container in the rat room.
Fuck it, I'm going. I'm doing it. You're ground zero.
So I pull out an impact grenade that I got off of Partisan and throw it in the room. I'm not too sure if he's dead, so I go ahead and throw a second grenade in. Grenades are cheap, but your life is expensive. It's worth throwing a few grenades. It's worth shooting a couple extra bullets just to make sure you're safe. There's a bunch of dead scavs here. It wound up being a player scav looting the containers, and then immediately I'm being pushed by another player scav. But with the 32 round magazine in the Uzi and the very low recoil, the player scav was absolutely light work. Then I go into the bedroom for 30 seconds to plant the poster. Then I take a minute to look around, loot some of the dead scavs I just killed. However, I'm not hanging out in dungeon for too long. It is a hot spot. People go there a lot, and I heard someone sprinting towards me. So I went ahead and ran over to Old Gas. I didn't want to be too greedy. I just had a couple big wins. I killed the new boss. I got my tasks done. I had some good loot on me, so I decided to call it there. That wraps up my wipe day experience. How did your wipe day go? Let me know in the comments. By the way, this is the start of a new series. I'm going to be completing as many tasks as humanly possible. My goal is to get Kappa container, maybe even get all the way to Lightkeeper and beyond. I'm going to try to do this in a format to help you newer players, especially if this is your first or second wipe, hit those big milestones like max level traders that you may not complete your first wipe. I want to help you get those done. So stick around. The video format may change a little bit in the future. Join the Discord server. You can talk to me directly as I'm making these videos. I like to make new friends, especially with you guys, so please hop in the Discord, say what's up. If you're in North America, we can absolutely run some raids. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to go through getting our Salewas and completing some of the early customs tasks.